I doing? I'm bringing this to the forefront.
Yes, sir.
But I'll say
It's
this.
a commercial.
I'll say this while he's bringing it up. You know, KD overcame all kinds of odds to get to where he is right now. Why? So why does it? Can some little words from someone who actually doesn't even matter and not an obstacle to you? Why should that even matter to you?
Like I said, he had too much time, man. Just sitting there on the bench.
Like, bro, he's like emo, bro. It's just ridiculous.
All right, it's up so everybody can see it.
Okay.
You want
I
me to
see
zoom in?
I see blackness on the. Let's see when it pops up. Okay, there it goes. All right. So basically, ESPN today they came out with a list of the top 25 players under 25. Um, and basically, it caused a lot of most of the two topics that went viral today or trended today. Twitter's trending, not viral. Were Booker and Trae Young, obviously. So just looking at this list here, we got Luke at the top, followed by Zion. Um, this is where the problems start. LaMelo Ball hasn't played a whole season. How the hell is he top 5?
Right, what?
I'll take Luca 1. I'll even take Zion 2. LaMelo 3? Come on, man.
Better than Tatum?
Hold on. Zion is 2.
Yeah,
I'll take that though. I mean, he's dominant, man. He shoots like
Bro,
60.
but I don't know.
How'd that work out for him tonight?
Yeah, Ja. Like I was a fan of Ja over Zion anyway. But whatever, man.
So we got Donovan Mitchell, Jason Tatum, De'Aaron Fox, Ben Simmons, Devin Booker, Bam Adebayo, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander as our top 10. First of all, I don't know how Booker isn't number 1 on this list. I mean, I'll give Luka that, but Booker, Luka, come on, like
not a sponsor. Like, go away, stupid thing. Sorry.
Donovan Mitchell, obviously he's getting hated on. Jason Tatum, all of them. So then the problems is when we get down here. We got 11 is Brandon Ingram. We got Jaylen Brown, Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr. before Ja and Trae. Like Michael Porter Jr.
He's very inconsistent. I love MPJ, but he is very inconsistent.
I mean, there's a lot of things on this list that doesn't make sense. Who made
De'Aaron
this?
Fox
Who
also shouldn't really be before. Like, I'm not necessarily that mad that Trey's at 16, but it's just some of the guys they have in front of him. Like Michael Porter Jr. definitely should not be in front of Trey.
But I wonder if teams did he do potential and just overall package,
Let's see. It says this list was compiled by averaging the individual rankings from 3 ESPN NBA analysts: Bobby Marks, Kevin Pelton, Mike Schmitz.
Who? Hold on, I got it.
You said who?
Yeah, I mean it doesn't help that Hawks get like 4 games televised a year.
That's a good point, honestly, because I didn't necessarily consider why the Hawks get no love, but that's probably one of the bigger reasons.
Oh, I know this guy.
Which guy?
Bobby Marks.
Okay.
This dude is I mean, you'll just wait. You'll see, Marco.
Okay, but I'm looking at you clicking it in time. Okay, let's see. Who's Bobby Marks? But yeah, so
idiots.
Where's his face?
It'll send me loading.
Okay, I see. Wow. Oh, that guy. Okay, he comes up every so often on ESPN. Sabonis should definitely not be 18. He's definitely better than some of these guys. Like Shai is really talented, but I mean he can't be ahead of these guys who have made, like, Jaylen Brown's contributed to deep playoff runs. Jamal Murray dropped 50 like 3 times in the playoffs. Trae Young is averaging 25 and 9 on a team that's in the 4 seed. And somehow De'Aaron Fox is top 10. Like,
yeah, like that's the one thing. Like, other than LaMelo, De'Aaron Fox top 10 is like, huh?
Like I know he's good, but come
He's
on.
fast.
Bruh. I don't know though. I like his game, bro. He been breaking folks down.
He's been on a tear where he's been averaging like 30 or so for the last maybe
Yeah.
6 games, but that's still like
Show me consistency.
show me consistency. Show me a team. I know they're fighting for that 10 seed right now because Steph was hurt for a couple games, but these dudes haven't been in the playoff picture even a little bit. And then
Trust me, I totally agree with that. But I also think between the lack of televised games and then the fact that the Hawks have lost the last two, have lost for most of their games for the last 2 seasons, it's like that's part of the reason why folks don't see Trae as this. It's part of the reason why the narrative that Luka's so much better than Trae.
we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But so John Collins on here at 22. I feel like he's better than Michael Porter at this point. Alonzo Ball is probably where he belongs.
You think Lonzo Ball's better than Colin Sexton?
No. No.
Right.
No, but no.
Right.
Not skill wise. But I think he has certain intangibles that might be more valuable for a team. I mean, Colin Sexton tries really hard. He's a above average scorer. He's a pretty good shooter. He plays aggressive defense. I don't know about good defense, but he plays aggressive defense. So I don't know, man. This is just confounding. And at this point, so any more comments on this, sort of like any other names? I feel like we've done a good job talking together on this. But
I want to say, just go through this list, like players that I would take above really Zion and LaMelo at this point would be Devin Booker, maybe even Brandon Ingram, Jaylen Brown, Jamal Murray, Ja Morant, Trae Young, Domantas Sabonis, and that was probably it.
Yeah. All those, you're right. All those players. Maybe Zion. I don't know.
Zion's got to prove to me that what he does wins games.
You're right. Because he puts up those numbers, and yet still they got beat by 20 tonight.
Right.
I mean, Zion's a freak athlete, but this is legitimately why I felt Ja was the better pick than Zion. He's a freak athlete, but I mean, how many fours are winning you games?
Yeah. Or like tweener 3, 4, 5s.
Yeah. How many of those guys can you legitimately build the team around and be like, yeah, this guy's going to carry us to the promised land? Like it was like the Spurs with LaMarcus Aldridge the past like 5 seasons. It's just
not
like,
Tim Duncan.
Yeah.
And I want to know how they think Michael Bridges is better than Domantas Sabonis, John Collins.
Yeah, definitely not Sabonis. Yeah, how the hell is Mikal Bridges better than Sabonis?
Because he dunks.
Like he's averaging 13 points a game. Like
I can posterize people. That's what I do.
Because he caught some pretty lobs from low.
Yeah,
But yeah, John Collins definitely better than him. I mean,
way better than him.
Yeah, but Ja should be top 10. Even if Trae's not, Ja should be. I mean, since he's came in the league, he's led his team to damn near playoff contention in the West, like 2 years in a row. I mean, even though I'm biased towards Trae. So anyway, speaking of Trae, let's get into a little bit of Hawks talk. Oh wait, you can get that off the screen.
I already did.
Okay, I'm looking at the old one.
And by the way, Harvey wants to let us know that we can buy LaMelo Ball jerseys from the Hornets for $95.99.
Is that a burn?
I'm sure it's just a burn.
He asked me earlier, like, you want to burn jerseys with me? No, I do not. I do not
want to go burn some stuff.
Unless you're sponsoring this, and even so, I'd wear a mask because I don't want to be known as a LeBron hater. Like, why is he burning LeBron's jersey? This is because he swept
Atlanta podcast burns LeBron jersey.
He swept us in 2015.
Right in front of my face.
Right. I'll always remember when all we had to do to not play LeBron in the second round was beat an Orlando Magic team that was starting like 5 G League players. We had all our starters, and we still lost.
The most Atlanta thing ever.
Like, damn it, Dennis Schroeder. All right, so
Oh, by the way, did you hear about what Dennis Schroeder did?
uh
He turned down I want to say it's a $90 million contract extension
yeah, I
from the
did hear
Lakers.
that.
He's like, "No, I'm good."
He must not like the fit there.
Betting on himself, I guess.
I
I
don't
don't
care
know.
what the fit is. $90 million for Dennis Schroeder?
Yeah,
He's
I
not
mean,
getting
I
that
agree.
anywhere else.
I maybe it's not about the money. Maybe he's just like, I don't fit with LeBron.
If
He doesn't.
despite what happens, title or not, I think that we're probably going to see Dennis on like the Bulls next year or something like that.
Yeah, it's weird that I was going to say the Bulls was probably where he's going to go.
Yeah, because they need a point guard who can score and play a little defense, and he can do all those things. Unless they draft one, or that one that point guard from last night, even though he's a senior, like he can make an NBA roster and really start contributing as a defender.
Which one?
On the wing? 45 Mitchell.
Oh, Mitchell. Yeah.
Yeah, like he was a really good defender out there. So speaking of Hawks talk, with this top 25 list in mind, like I said, Trae was trending today, and often when Trae trends, I'd say that 70% of it is usually hate.
Yeah, honestly.
And then on top of that, we had Ryan Windhorst, who has a podcast, and on the podcast, speaking about this list, what he had to say about Trae was this. He said he's a spectacular player who is an excellent, emphasize, he said excellent twice, shooter at times, but he has games where he's off and doesn't contribute. Then he's a liability on defense, which gets the Hawks eaten alive all the time. So while there's truth in what he says, I think a lot of this is like under the pretense of what Micah said earlier. I don't think he watches Hawks games. Because to say that Trae Young doesn't contribute when he doesn't score, when this man usually, if he scores, like he'll have like a 12 and 14 game.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or, or like add a couple steals in there, or if he's not scoring, he's usually getting assists. So I don't agree with what he's saying. What do y'all think about this comment from Windhorst?
All right. I mean, but that's, to be honest with you, that's all of Atlanta sports in general when it comes to the national media. We, as big of a market as Atlanta has become, we get very little spin when it comes to the press. Like, I mean, think about it. Whether it's the Hawks, the Falcons, the Braves, the Braves will get a little bit more. Yeah. But like when you look at like those highlights, when they show like the highlight reels and stuff, it's like very short. We're the team that they just kind of breeze through. They show one or two plays and just be like, and then they'll show the stat line and whatnot. So yeah, like Trae, I think what they do is because our games aren't nationally televised, they don't watch them. They just look at the score. They look at the box score, and yeah, there have been a lot of games this year where Trae has scored, 12, 15 points, nothing real special, have 9 or 10 assists, and they just assume, oh well, they lost. Trae only scored 15 points. He must not have had that good of a game. Who did we play 2 nights ago? It was
a loss or a win?
Golden State.
Okay.
We played Golden State. He went 13-5, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it doesn't look like in the box score, that doesn't look that impressive. 13-5 for Trae.
I'll give him that one game though, because that game Trae did play exceptionally bad.
Yeah, but you look at that. Oh yeah, this. But then the next game, he might not score. He might not score 35, but he might put up 17 with 12 assists, and it's like, oh, well, he didn't really contribute because he didn't score 30 plus. He didn't lead the team in scoring, but he had like 12 assists, so he contributed in a lot more ways than just putting up points. And I think that's where I think they get too caught up in that box score, as opposed to, because when you don't watch the game, that's all you can really do is just look at the box score and make assessment off of that.
And highlights or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's down the middle with Trae, honestly. I think there are times where he is way too passive and he is not like his shot selection could be better at times. There is a reason that John Collins said what he said. You know, like Trae definitely has some developing to do. Trae's talent is going to always be there, and he's always going to be a threat for 30 to 40 a game. He's growing in areas that, you know, he needs to. He's learning how to play NBA basketball. But to say someone who can pull up from 35 to 40 consistently and get you 10 to 15 assists consistently doesn't affect the game just because he's not scoring is ridiculous.
Yeah.
If you have someone on the court that can stretch your defense up top every play, whether he's shooting well or not, because you know he can hit 4 or 5 in a row, that's just dumb. It's just like it's bad. It's bad take. It's a lazy take, and it's a very Windhorse type take. Like he made it because he followed LeBron, and let's just be honest. Like he is a LeBron coattail success story. Like he came in, followed him, covered him for ESPN, and they were like, "Oh look, here's this guy that knows everything about it because he's literally been following him this entire time." He's never had stats or takes that made me go, huh, yeah, good point. Yeah, I never thought about it like that. Or, wow, that's impressive. That's a deep dig. It's just not what Windhorse does. ESPN is full of those people. What's his face? Oh, Wilbon. So apparently if your name starts with a W-I, you're pretty trash. And you know what? I want Michael Wilbon.
Mm-hmm.
One of the
Atlanta hater.
Hates Atlanta. One of the worst hot take guys. One of the has no idea about Atlanta sports and will say something about their players all the time. Like that team when we won 17 in a row in February, he said something. I wish I could pull it up. I'll find it later and maybe put it to the Instagram page. But just like completely not true about our players. Couldn't even was talking about a guy who wasn't even on our team. It's like, huh? What are you talking about, Wilbon? But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Atlanta doesn't get that type of coverage. People talk about Atlanta when they don't watch our games.
Right. Yeah, and I think one thing that sort of has affected the perception of Trae too is the fact that he came out that second year just like gangbusters, averaging historical numbers like 30 and 10. People and obviously he was doing that on a team where he took all the shots. So people look at him now and say, "Oh, well, he's not doing that, so he must not be as good, or he's just getting those numbers because he's going to the foul line, or blah blah blah." But like you said, the fact alone that literally every game he's drawing a full court defense, they're trapping him, they're doubling, tripling him. To say that he doesn't contribute just because his stats don't show is a ridiculous take. It's all the way ridiculous.
Like I definitely want to see Trae get better at finishing at the basket. You know, he's a very good finisher. He's underrated as a finisher, but he's not. I want to see him finish like Steph. Steph is just an absolute elite finisher at the rim for his size.
Bruh.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of that stuff with that Trae and Dame do, where it's like they're throwing up layups that have no chance just to draw fouls. Like you don't really see Steph do that. Steph is such an intentional, efficient scorer. But you know that obviously Steph is one of a kind. But yeah, we definitely need to see Trae get stronger.
Right.
Get a lot stronger and work on finishing through contact.
He needs to work on his leadership too.
Yeah, exactly. Because like he's cool with the shivering and all the cool things that he does when he's hot. But yeah, I mean, but at the same time, Steph isn't really a vocal leader either. So I'm not gonna. I don't know. It's like there's a give and take, because sometimes you need another. Because like I like the way John Collins is more vocal. You know, I like that. I like sometimes there's balance. Maybe Trae isn't the guy. You don't want him to do things that are unnatural, but at the same time, playing well is enough leadership for me. Like,
Did you not see that clip of Steph the other day, by the way?
yeah, where he was yelling at the team.
Yeah. Sorry,
but that's
go
like
ahead,
the
Micah.
first time I've seen that like ever.
But speaking of Steph finishing at the rim, bro, it was the other day when we played him. He had one where he went up and under on the other side of the rim, and Clint Capella's chasing him, and he was just like flipped it just enough. He went just enough on the other side of the rim where Clint Capella couldn't get to it and block the shot. And I'm just like, yeah, that's where we need Trae to start doing stuff like that, or to learn that.
Yeah, he just got to get in the weight room because that's all strength. People underrate how strong Steph is, but that dude works really. Like Ryan said earlier, is one of the hardest working dudes in the game, if not the hardest working dude in the game. I know LeBron.
Yeah, I would say LeBron still might take the